Sorry, I've been away for a few days. I'd been sick. I was actually definitely not celebrating any holiday. So working my tail off, actually. How are you doing? Yes? Everybody keeps asking me if these are steaks on the table. That's reddish. That's a petrified wood, actually. I got to put some petrified wood at the corner here. Let's talk about, and I read every comment. I love it when people say, I bet you're not going to read this comment, and I respond to their comment. I do read every comment, including the abusive ones. I'm going to leave some really abusive comments, too, by the way. New World Disorder. Yeah, New World Disorder is highly accurate. You know, some of the major cities in the United States, New York City, Chicago, San Fran, Miami, there's a 32% business occupancy rate, which the summation of this means is that all those high-rises where the three-piece suit of Poindexters and the super nerds used to hang out, yeah, they're not there anymore. And if you think they're like all of those people are working from home, well, a certain percentage of them are, but no, those businesses, people think things are going to come back. They're not going to come back, and that's the whole goal. I keep seeing people asking questions, making statements, actually. You know, why would they do this, meaning the government? And this is all according to plan. This is exactly what they want. People used to think that was conspiratorial. It's absolutely the truth. I was out today, by the way, and I know people have been mail ordering online in their undies, you know, instead of going out and shopping. You know, this is actually a relatively prosperous town, city, actually Lexington. Always has been. The streets were empty. I drove through every major shopping epicenter here in town. It's just dead as a doornail. The reason why it's dead as a doornail is because everybody, just like me, is flat broke, and we're struggling to pay gas and inflating food prices. And boy, oh boy, by the way, if there's a rail strike like they're planning, you can't believe how much more expensive. You think groceries are expensive now? Oh boy. Wait till you see that. We don't know if that's going to happen yet, but it's on track for it to happen. We've had these fools like Janet Yellen and others say that inflation is only transitory. I mean, these people are the least intelligent people on earth, yet they're working according to a plan. I mean, stupid people are not that nefarious. They are taking orders from others. That's not my opinion. That's not conspiratorial. And certainly so is the fact that these people are working via a plan. I don't know if they can see the whole picture, because you can't actually contain the truth from regarding stupid people. Once in a while, over the past 2 years, some of these people have said the quiet part out loud. Usually it's the least intelligent people that do it. One has been the American president. The person that's actually said the quiet part out loud the most has been Justina Castro up north. I'm just going to call him Justina Castro. I think we all know who that is. The Fed has created a Ponzi scheme of debts and bonds and money printing to hold off an absolute catastrophe. I don't know if you remember or not. I talked about it. It's about 2 months ago when the British pound fell to basically one-on-one with the US dollar, and things were going really, really bad in the UK. They pulled out an emergency, you know, like you break the glass to get a fire extinguisher out, break glass, pull out the fire. They pulled off an emergency procedure in the UK where they bought a lot of bonds. Yeah, so the UK nearly went through a catastrophe. I mean, that's not my opinion. Some of the best monetary fiscal experts on earth have said this is the case. The United States is essentially doing the same thing. It is a Ponzi scheme, and I understood it, but not so fully until I did a lot of research on it. I've listening to and looking at the top 10 experts, gurus of finance. Ray Dalio, who's the old guy? Warren Buffett, Kiyosaki. Not that I really consider Kiyosaki to be one. Ray Dalio. I already said Ray Dalio. There's about 10 of them. And they were explaining the Ponzi scheme that the government does, where they actually issue debt, which is its own type of money, to make the money appear and disappear. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's like a cup routine, like a hustler on the street, between debts, bonds, and money printing. All of these 10 experts that are not trying to sell stuff, including their books. Yeah, these people are just filthy frigging rich. They're just saying it like it is. They are all in complete agreement that a catastrophe is, and I'm not a doom and gloomer, I'm not. They all agree that an absolute catastrophe is imminently around the corner. When all else fails, all these governments, when they've run out of the Ponzi scheme of debt, bonds, and money printing, they take you to war. So we've had the Kuf War, the Ukraine War. Man, there's been a lot of really, I don't care what side you're on, there's been a lot of really, really disgusting, sort of like FTX scammer levels of disgusting going on with this Ukraine conflict. A lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. Military-industrial complex, money laundering. There's been a lot of really, 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 really shady stuff going on. So we've got the Kuf War, the Ukraine conflict, and the next one, of course, will be World War III. I hope that doesn't happen. And you know, a few weeks ago they had duck and cover drills in New York City. Remember when they had that back in the 80s? It's like you stick your head between your legs and kiss your butt goodbye. I mean, it's just so stupid. It's like you're going to crawl underneath a flimsy Chinese-made piece of plywood and save your butt, duck and cover. They're having kids do duck and cover drills in a couple large United States cities. Right now, the Fed, which is not part of the United States government, the Fed and the U.S. government are doing what big business always does when it's about to implode. They're doing a sleight of hand move. They're giving you a puppet show over here, where over on this side, they're shh. They know what's about to happen. People are making hard moves to cover their butts and to do everything possible as the whole thing's collapsing. All these big businesses do this. Olympus, I had inside information on Olympus, and Olympus, Cameron did the same thing. All these other big businesses do, and so does the government. They make everything seem like it's all fine, but it's just a facade. It is completely rotten, rusted out, and corrupted on the inside, and the whole thing is literally about to collapse. Every indication says that. The top 10 experts and gurus on the intricacies of debt, bonds, and money printing, and how the Fed and the government work, they all are in complete consensus that the poo is literally about to hit the fan. Don't take my word for it. People that are not trying to sell me anything, people that are genuine experts, not just like lip-flapping goons on the tube, you know, who are, and I can't stand these stupid videos or like the Earth is going to end next week, and it doesn't happen. Like, it's going to end next. These, you know, how do people tune into those? It's like every video, it's like the end of the world is next week. I mean, you would think you'd give up on that person when after the third or fourth prediction. I'm not saying the end of the world is happening, but these people, you know, who are sensible are telling you that an absolute catastrophe is about to hit. I have a lot of you emailing me, you know, that you're completely assured that that is going to happen. It's like, well, I'm in complete agreement with you. There's no bone of contention here at all. The reason why the Fed and the U.S. government are doing this because they use this time of profit for themselves and to set themselves up and not to fail, especially the politicians, a lot of these other people. I was reading a lot of the inside information, and this is horrific. One thing the news media is not reporting upon, we all basically know about FTX imploding, and the guy living in lap of luxury in like some sort of Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bahamas with his girlfriend or whatever that thing is that is a partner with him. Partner with him on FTX and the scam that they were pulling off a horrific scam. They are two companies that are owned by the one person. I forget the name of the other company. But the serious point is that FTX issued their own crypto. Let's just call it a douche coin, right? FTX issued their own douche coin, and they used their own self-generated douche coin to use it to lend to the other company, which they also owned. And so it was just the most disgusting Ponzi scheme and sleight of hand that any, you know, half-blind, 5 brain cells sort of person would be able to see through. But the serious issue is that there's all these other entities that were invested in this imaginary douche coin that FTX had created. One of them is BlockFi, and another one is Genesis. There's a whole laundry list of these companies that are literally, had their cut off right at the kneecaps. They've been cut off financially right at the kneecaps, and all the people that invest. I got a thing today. Communication further from last night for a guy. He lost $500,000 of his money in FTX. I don't know how anybody could have invested in FTX. Crypto is the total scam. I mean, it absolutely is. You need electricity for it to work, the internet for it to work, network for it to work, and a bunch of suckers that believe in it for it to work. Anyway, BlockFi and Genesis and all these other people had invested in this imaginary douche coin that FTX spontaneously generated out of thin air. Just like Harry Potter kind of magic. Poof! I was reading the comments on BlockFi. There's just thousands of people. It's like, oh my God, my money's stolen. I have my mother's money invested in BlockFi. Now I can't get it out. I can't. Where's my money? Give me my money back. Cursing, people upset, people crying about BlockFi, and that's just one of them. So FTX imploding caused all these other people that fell for the ignorance and the nonsense, the lies, the scams, and the stupidity to also implode financially. The same sort of thing happened in Holland. Remember the tulip craze? People sold their homes for a bag of tulip bulbs. Charlie Munger, who is an expert financial guru, he referred to crypto as dementia. And he further said, this is brilliant, he said, crypto is like people trading in turds. And when you see other people trading in turds, you want to speculate, and you're like, I don't want to be left out of the turds, so you invest in turds too. Kind of brilliant. Charlie Munger's this really old guy, financial guru. I hate to say this, but I think you already know this, that the WEF, the Fed, and the U.S. government, and the EU, this is nothing other than a huge crime syndicate. Things are not getting worse in the world. Things are getting more obvious. They're ramping it up, by the way, the fascism and the totalitarianism. Right now, the entire world is floating on an ephemeral fart. Money printing on nothing, backed by nothing, chasing corporate bonds and propping up failing companies. I don't know if you know this or not, but one of the primary tenets of Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto was a central bank, i.e. the Fed. Did you know that one of the fundamental tenets of the Communist Manifesto is a central bank, i.e. the Fed? Did you know that? So the saying amongst these gurus is, people that are actual gurus, not like internet gurus, actual gurus, they say, cash is trash. It's like, I don't have much cash at all. I actually sold, I've always been my entire life a mega guru on land buying. And I do not confuse commercial or residential real estate with raw land. People's like, oh, what would I do if I bought 100 acres? It's like, raw land is taken care of by itself. Why would you, like if you bought a cabin and 100 acres, the only thing you'd have to worry about is the land immediately around the cabin and the driveway to keep it mowed down. The rest of the raw land always has, always will, take care of itself. Raw land takes care of itself. I sold everything not glued down and bought a bunch of land because I've always been a guru on making really good land purchases. So cash is trash. The question is, where do we put it? I have basically no cash at all. One expert, actually several experts, said to stick it in God's money. God's money means the Fed can't print it. That would be gold, silver. My two to add on to that would be land, lead, land, and lumber. Land keeps producing, lumber regenerates itself, depending on the type of trees that are on your land. If they're old growth trees too, lumber is really valuable. You could chop it up, you could sell it, make furniture out of it, use it to heat your home, use it to feed your fireplace, which keeps you warm and cooks your food, Right now, I hate to guess, and I don't even want to think about how many Europeans and Ukrainians are going to literally freeze to death this winter. Right now, by the way, in the past 72 hours, Russia has gone full tilt, crotch out, dropping munitions on everything that produces energy in Ukraine. You literally have weaponized the cold. That is exactly what Russia is doing right now. They've weaponized the cold. They're trying to destroy, they're doing a really good job at it, destroying the entire infrastructure of everything that keeps people's lights on and keeps them from freezing to death. That's what's going on right now. So these experts say God's money. You know, the Fed can't print it. Neither can the government. Gold and silver. The things that I would add are land, lead, lumber, and learning. Those are my four. Land and lumber, which are basically the same thing, kind of, sort of, not really. You take the lumber off, you still got the land. Land, lumber, lead. I'll let you figure out what lead is. Land, lead, lumber, and learning, i.e. the skills to make things, to do things. You know, be like MacGyver. You know, you're out in the wilderness naked, and you know you could build a house due to the skills you have. So land, lead, lumber, and learning. Someone else put it the 3 Gs. They called it gold, guns, and a getaway plan, which is a pretty brilliant one. Gold, guns, and a getaway plan. The best experts also agree, and many of you told me this also, and I'm in full agreement, and it's definitely true. Silver and gold, especially silver, are being kept at an artificially low level. Because of inflation, silver and gold should be way higher, and gold and silver should have been skyrocketing like a bat out of hell for the past 3 years, and the only reason they haven't is that these entities that are buying it up, they want to buy it up while they can, is they want to keep it low for themselves, and then it's going to make a snap, you know, into the stratosphere. That's pure speculation. I'm not telling anybody to buy anything. You know, make informed, logical decisions for your own. Right now, the gold in the past 2 years that have been bought by China out of Switzerland and the United States, China bought 160 tons of gold. India bought 80 tons of gold. Turkey bought 62 tons of gold. There's all these countries, I just named 3, that bought a massive amount of gold in the past 2 years. You think that would tell you something. So right now, gold and silver undeniably are being kept artificially low, so these governments and countries can buy up as much of it they can because they know this is where it's going. If you think that these demons, these various cabal demons, have shut down the entire global economy because of a virus, then you have failed the IQ test. Please let me repeat that one more time. If you really think that these demons shut down the entire, put the brake on the entire global economy because of a virus, then you have utterly, completely, and totally failed any type of IQ test. Like some hardcore stupidity going on, if you really think that's the case. A lot of people really do think, oh, we had to shut everything down, we destroy everybody's lives, ruin their business, because the coof. Do you really think that? I mean, let's be honest. I read every comment. Do you really think that's why it happened? Or do you think everything is going according to plan, and they are following a plan? Oh, that's conspiratorial. No, it's a fact now. And anybody that doesn't see it is blind, stupid, ignorant, all the above. They just really are. I had no idea there were so many peripheral entities that had been invested in the douche coin of FTX. And now they're just failed, and people have lost their money. Like people that had no direct exposure to FTX, but they had their money in Genesis and BlockFi. These companies have folded up like a cheap card table, like a smashed cockroach on the floor. You know, with its. I was reading the Instagram page. All these people just screaming at BlockFi and BlockFi's Instagram page. Give me my money back! You stole my money! You dirty bleepity bleeps! It was unbelievable. It was just heartbreaking, actually. I don't have any money. What have I got right now? I think I got, what have I got? Actually, there's been a whole lot of bills lately. I think I got $4,100 to my name. I do have a good bit of land. I do, and I said 1,000 times I've sold everything not glued down to buy wise purchase land. Now you can just take money and buy land. You got to buy it right, right location, on and on and on. I know all the things to look at on buying land. I don't have any gold or silver. Um, I have a lot of trees, tons and tons of trees, which is its own type of money. Um, I sold off like 4 acres of trees a couple of years ago, and I got some really good money for it. And it doesn't look like, the land doesn't look like it's been, obliterated or destroyed. They left all the young saplings there, so it looks okay. It looks fine. People really don't do clear cutting anymore. Back then, they just shave the land. It looks like hell. That doesn't happen anymore, really. The only thing I can say to you is, please, goodness, prepare yourself. There's just not a chance in hell that it's not going to go down. There's just going to be an absolute catastrophe. Everybody with a half a brain agrees that it's coming. The only thing you could do is prepare yourself. I have an unlimited supply of lumber, really definitely an unlimited supply. That trees are worth money. It's going to heat my cabin. It's going to cook my food if I got to retreat to the cabin. I got a spring with water on it, so I got unlimited water, unlimited heating, free heating. My doctor, Dr. Michelle, she moved to Kentucky, just outside of Manchester, Kentucky. She has a 40-acre farm. She has a gas well on it. If you have a gas well on your farm, it's Kentucky law. I don't know about other states where you get to tap off of that for your own personal consumption. So she has unlimited free natural gas for cooking and heating. Unlimited and free until the day she croaks. That's incredible. She has nutrient-rich farmland for planting and growing. She bought herself a used tractor. She's going to be like Green Acres. She's got a barn. She's got beautiful land with old-growth lumber on it. She is happier than a pig in poop. I'm so proud of her, and so are a lot of other people. That is my backup contingency. There's nothing guaranteed in life other than death, taxes, and suffering, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't all be as prepared as possible. Even if all you could afford is a go bag, make plans. Say, hey, I'll take care of your farm in exchange for, living in a trailer, growing my own food, have access to 1 acre. I mean, just all sorts of opportunities. People say, I can't buy a farm. I get that. But we can all make arrangements so that we could escape the tyranny and the evil that's coming. There's already enough evil and tyranny. Like I say, never seen this before in my life. People have been using the internet for buying stuff for like 2 decades plus now. So that's not it. People sitting at home ordering stuff online. The streets today, Black Friday, dead as a doornail. I had every major shop, and there's nobody out there buying anything. And this is a prosperous town. Now that's anecdotal. It's just one town. So tell me about your town. Yeah, did you see what it was on Black Friday? I bet you they're exactly like me, exactly like you, broke as hell. Too many bills. The bills are too damn high. The food's too damn high. The gas is too damn. Nobody's buying a damn thing. It's going to be a bleak Christmas, shall we say? Like, why buy? I can't afford to buy it. I'm barely struggling to pay the bills as it is. I'm not going out buying Christmas gifts. You tell me. I'd love to hear from you in your hometown on that. I hope you have a lovely holiday weekend, and thank you so much for watching. I read every comment. Let me know what you think. I love to be informed. I am an information sponge. I'm like SpongeBob SquarePants, except instead of water, I soak up information. Have a good one.